focus this.
Boy.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
Bro.
Bro.
I don't know if you know this yet, but we're brothers. Like,
Yeah, that's why we say bro so much. It's
yeah,
not that obnoxious for no reason.
for no reason. It's intentional obnoxiousness. Oh, man. What are we doing here? This is Forms and Focus, where we provide guided forms to manifest radical focus. Hey, listen, bro. People have dreams. They want to get stuff done. They want to accomplish things in life.
Yep.
You know what's prohibiting them from doing that?
Lack of focus.
Lack of focus.
Mm-hmm.
If people focused, people are brilliant, man. They've got cool ideas.
Exactly. No,
They're really smart.
Exactly.
And really just all they need is to carve out some time to prepare their minds and their bodies to focus on that thing. And they can take over the world.
Totally.
I mean, hopefully people don't want to be a dictator and then they listen to this podcast. They learn how to focus on.
Take over their little piece of world.
That's right.
Their little sliver of world.
Whatever.
They occupy. Not my sliver of world, but
yeah. Don't come take my sliver.
Don't take over my sliver of world. Just get your own sliver.
Or I'll sell you a sliver of my sliver, and then it could be your sliver.
Yeah, for the right price, sure.
So what are we talking about today?
Caffeine.
Oh, caffeine.
Right. It's something that is used by a few people a few times.
So it turns out
it's not rare.
Caffeine is consumed by over 80% of U.S. adults.
Not super surprising.
Not at all. And I don't know what percentage of teenagers. That would probably be, we should probably look that up.
Quite a few. I think I started drinking coffee in high school.
I remember the second one of our friends could drive, we would go to Waffle House, which is a place in the South. I don't know. Is Waffle House in the North? I don't think so. Yeah,
it's not.
So it's a place in the South that's at every exit, and we would go till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And we talked about added sugars last episode. We would be like...
Yeah. I know a guy who used to do that, the sugar waterfall, where it's just pouring
and you get to the bottom and it's
5
paste.
seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah, exactly. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we were idiots, obviously. Just sit there and drink coffee. So been drinking coffee for a while. All right. So check this out. You're going to say something. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, keep going. You got it, bro. You're on it.
So when we did our research, the study that we're pulling from, they did a study so far about over 400,000 people have participated in the study. So
right.
Awesome study.
Right. What do we find? Caffeine can readily cross the blood-brain barrier. Okay.
That's cool. What is the blood-brain barrier?
It's...
You explained this to me before. And explain it to me in layman's terms.
That's the only way I can explain it because I'm not a scientist. It's basically the barrier that prevents things from going into the brain. Gotcha. So,
So certain things we consume, they break that barrier. That means they hit the brain immediately.
Pretty much.
So the second it's consumed, it goes straight into...
It gets in the bloodstream and it can cross that and it can,
That's pretty interesting.
Do its thing.
We should do... Man, I want to know more about that. I'm going to read more about that. That's pretty interesting. I've never even heard that term until we started doing this research.
Yeah. No, it's there. It's very important. It's, I think it's... When people talk about brain fog, things like that, has to do with the blood-brain barrier. What's crossing that? What's gaining access to the brain that shouldn't be there? But that's not what we're talking about.
Caffeine.
Caffeine.
So what happens? Caffeine crosses the barrier.
Right. It gets in the brain. Basically, it attaches to the adenosine receptors. Okay. So what's adenosine? Because I didn't know what the hell it was. That's what produces in the body and, becomes... The adenosine levels get higher throughout the day, and that's what gives you your sleep craving, your sleep hunger. When you start to get tired, sleepy, and just that feeling your eyelids are heavy, that's adenosine building up in the body.
So throughout the day, adenosine builds up until the point to where you're tired enough to go to sleep.
But the caffeine cucks the receptors. So the adenosine's
if you know.
So the adenosine's not attaching, and you don't feel that sleep hunger quite as much.
So literally caffeine, your body's I'm tired. You're 4 hours into the day. You've
Yeah.
worked really hard. You've already busted out like 400 emails,
Mm-hmm.
and then and your body's like, I'm getting tired, and then caffeine's like,
Nope.
nope,
It's like, not
nope,
today.
we're ready to go.
It's like, you're not going to do this because I'm not going to let you.
So here's what's interesting. So I've actually made a major shift in my caffeine habits in life. And so when we started researching this episode, I wanted to find a silver bullet. I wanted to find something that said caffeine was bad.
Right.
And I didn't. Caffeine. It turns out there's like, out of this 415,000 people, like caffeine's okay.
So, good news. The most widely used drug on the entire planet is not that bad for
So
you.
far.
But
That's good.
there is a but.
Of course.
You know, the caffeine, it might not be negative for your body, specifically the caffeine, but if it affects your sleep,
Yeah.
obviously that is a problem because your sleep is kind of like the foundation for your entire health.
Yeah.
So sleep, and then it can also basically antagonize the stress response. So if you're already someone who feels stress, anxiety,
It can hide in
it
that.
can exactly. So
that makes sense.
What does that come down to? Dosage.
Dosage. Always. Well, for
Dosage.
me, and that's why I really I switched from caffeinated coffee, which, you know, I already stopped drinking coffee past like 10, 11 a.m. I never, you know, I used to drink coffee all day, every day, nonstop, and then went to like nothing past 10, 11, and then I don't sleep well for a lot of reasons, not just caffeine, but I figured I would help that, so I made that switch to help me sleep better, which honestly, I still haven't slept great, but I've like made that change. I'm like 2 months into not drinking caffeinated coffee. So
maybe there's something else we can work on.
yeah, we'll definitely cover that in the future.
Whenever you find it. How to sleep for people with maximum stress. So Bro and I are kind of yin and yang on that 'cause I live a pretty stress-free life.
Yeah, I would say like I'm not super stressed, but like I have like a 30% underline, like
A baseline level that just kind of hangs there.
yeah, like you're gonna die today. Like the apocalypse is gonna happen tomorrow. Like that, I just kind of live with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't relate to that,
But it means if the apocalypse happens, I'll already be
Ready.
like prepared to live under a certain amount of stress and a constant.
You're used to being under stress constantly, so your body's. It wouldn't even be that big of a change. It would just be.
It's like,
instead
there's
of-
zombies.
Instead of going to the grocery store for food, you go to the neighbor's house to loot.
Yeah,
That's the only difference.
Yeah, that's true. I would still be about 30% stressed. That's pretty funny. So habits. What do we do?
Big conclusion here.
Dosage. That's right.
Dosage. If
I got a soft subject. Dosage.
yeah, dosage. Really, and this is so different for so many different people. There's not a one size fits all. You literally have to experiment. Can you drink caffeine after, lunch? Some people can. I cannot.
Yeah.
I have a roommate. He can drink coffee at like 8 o'clock, fall asleep at like 11.
That's crazy.
That's literally impossible for me.
Yeah.
I'll be up till 3 in the morning. So you just have to experiment. Maybe you can drink it. Maybe you can't. You just have to find out.
yeah.
And are you getting heart palpitations?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your stress, your
Bring
anxiety?
the dosage down.
Yeah. Is your, the anxiety skyrocketing? Maybe you don't need that.
Yeah.
The monster.
Don't do it. So if you're not sleeping well, if your heart is doing weird things,
Yeah.
you should definitely lower the dosage of caffeine. If not, like just
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Figure out.
Figure out
that
something
too.
else.
Yeah. Figure out when you can do it.
So you were talking about, for coffee drinkers, they drink coffee every day. But you said something I thought was pretty cool, which is like kind of
Yeah, cutting back on the weekends. Well, if you work a regular job, but basically the days you're off and you're not working, cutting back basically to reduce tolerance. So it keeps working
yeah.
because, I think we've all met those people who can drink like a pot of coffee. Like they do a whole pot of coffee and drink.
Right.
I think our sister was like that for a while. I was never like that. Like my heart would explode. It would feel like, but you keep drinking and the tolerance goes up. And so you just keep drinking more, and that's the cycle. But on days off, if you just cut it back,
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't drink because you'll probably get a massive headache because you're probably addicted like we all are.
Yeah.
So, just cutting back the dosage on days off. So then when you are doing your thing, you're trying to stay focused, it actually works again.
Yeah. And it's true, right? So I drank caffeinated coffee forever. So I switched. I went to, I tried the brand Mud, which is a coffee substitute. And then I tried Daily Dose, which is another coffee substitute. So for like a good 3 or 4 weeks, I didn't drink caffeine. I did have the caffeine withdrawals, did have headaches. I was actually sick that week too, and I was coughing a lot. So every time I coughed, it felt like someone was literally punching me in the brain.
Yeah.
But then, so I don't drink coffee that much anymore. But if the kids were up and I only got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep and I got to work, I'll drink black tea.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the difference now versus just a year ago or a couple months ago when I drink, some black tea. Again, I don't feel tired. I'm ready to go.
Yes, because it works
that much.
It works again.
Yeah.
So that's like trying to break that habit where you've built up so much tolerance. It's almost like the coffee doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the caffeine.
Yeah.
So once you start dialing it back, and it's tough.
Yeah.
But if you can do it, you can get that sweet caffeine feeling we all crave.
So here we go. I'm glad you said that because it's all about focus, right? This podcast is all about focus. So if you're drinking just a ton of caffeine and then you want to focus, well, it's not going to help you because your tolerance is so high.
Right.
But if you really want to focus on your focus blocks, if you do have a life where you work full time, you got kids, or you're up late, or just whatever your life is, if you don't get a lot of sleep, but you want to focus on something, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, save caffeine for those times. You know? Like allow caffeine to be the ritual that you get to consume when you're working on something you want to accomplish that's important to you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, that's a great idea. I do loose leaf tea mostly, so I can adjust it. It's really easy. You do a huge pinch, and I can feel it. If I'm doing a massive pinch of black tea, it might be, I'm talking like a huge pinch, but that's basically coffee at that point.
Right.
But you can scale it back, just a tiny little thing, just so you don't get the headache. Because, we're all addicted. Most of us are addicted.
Yeah.
But basically, days where I know I'm not doing much, I'm drinking enough to just not get the withdrawals.
Smart. God, that's awesome. Man.
So
way to go, bro.
So
Good
then
job.
it works again. I try.
So if we want to focus, consider if you need to sleep better, if you need to reduce some of the stress,
And
consider your caffeine
if you're
dosage.
losing sleep, that's not going to help you focus.
It's not
We all
at
know
all.
that. Everyone
Sleep kills.
We've all
focus.
been there.
Or lack of sleep kills
You were
focus.
doing the all-nighter. You were up late. You're trying to focus the next day.
You're just pissed.
You just want to die.
Yeah. He's angry.
You've been to work after a party.
Yeah.
You just, it's one of the worst feelings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I love it. That makes sense.
All right.
Let's do it.
Roll the outro, bro.
Yeah. All right.